Okay. Yeah, welcome all to having a dinner. I hope this discussion will make you more attentive. As you all are aware, right, this discussion is mostly on navigating the boon and bane of AI and business agility. So, going with the introductory part, I want Srijana to start with. Srijana, please go ahead if you're in.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah. Intro of me.
Yes, yes. Well, I'll move on, Srijana. No worries. I'll move on. Okay. Yeah, cool. Well, just a second. Firstly, I want to introduce Ketan, who's a panelist, and he's highly an agile transformation coach, highly experienced and client-focused and result-driven person who is almost having the 17 years of expertise in agile transformation and project management. He has got a great proven track record of successful agile adaptation and implementation across multiple sites in US and internationally. He's located his key strengths mostly into entire enterprise agile transformation and the agile adaptation and implementation. So nowadays, like we see him in most conferences mostly into AI as a AI prompt curator and enterprise agile coach, having various degrees of his knowledge. We want to utilize him his knowledge in this particular conference. Thank you, Ketan, for being here.
Thanks a lot, and really thank to the entire this SSAG Shining event that we're having. It's really great to see a lot of great speakers talk and good collaboration. So thanks to the entire volunteering team. I know we've been a part of an organizing team for some conferences. It's not that easy, and there are a lot of things behind the scenes that you all do. So kudos to all the volunteers for this awesome job being going and sustaining it for tomorrow as well. So all the best.
Thank you. Next, I want to introduce Meghna Parvate. She's carrying more than 24 years of experience in mostly in DevOps optimization and lean portfolio implementations. She is a seasoned agile coach with transformation in large IT organizations. She has successfully delivered more than 85% of predictability with Scrum teams ranging from 1 to 20. That's a huge range. She has trained more than 1,000 plus participants in the workshops, and she has volunteered like many like cloud security analysis, and she has been the reviewer for Global Scrum Gathering Amsterdam 2023, and she is also like part of Agile Practitioners Group of India, and she has got many accolades with her. Thank you, Meghna ma'am, for being here.
Sure. Thanks a lot. And it's always amazing to be part of such events. And one thing that pleasantly surprises me is there are definitely those few things which we all learn for the first time. So I'm really happy to share and learn as much from all of the fellow presenters and panelists. So very happy to be here today, and of course, very excited for the discussion as well as for a Power Pact event tomorrow.
Thank you, ma'am. Nextly, I want to introduce Mr. Saurabh Sharma, who is a founder of Agile 360 Degree. He has got 28 plus years of experience in the field of IT industry. He has worked into almost all the leading software development companies, and from 14 years in his career, he is into Agile transformation with a consulting experience in both B2B and B2C software product companies. And he is an Agile coach and a safe trainer. So this is what all Saurabh is all about. Thank you, sir, for being here.
You are on mute, Saurabh.
Saurabh, you are on mute.
Thank you very much, Subramaniam, for having me over here. And thanks to the complete Product Practitioners Group for, organizing this particular wonderful conference. All good speakers, all good topics, and I'm really liking it. And I look forward to a more exciting session in panel discussion as well as tomorrow in the speakers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Now I want to introduce Nagini Chandramouli ma'am. She has got more than 24 years of experience. She is currently with Bank of America as Vice President, and she is a member of International Coaching Federation. She is an SPC and a Kanban professional. She is a keynote speaker in many conferences like this. Her expertise holds in agile coaching, management consulting, project management, and organizational agility. Thank you, ma'am, for being here.
Thank you, Subramaniam. The disclaimer I have is I might be an expert in agile transformations in various industries, but when it comes to AI, I'm just taking my, I would say I'm at the intermediate level of understanding things and how I would utilize them for the good of the organization when the transformations are happening. So a lot of things I can share from that level, and I can also learn from experts like Ethan on what is my way forward to learn. At least I'm happy that I'm a literate in AI.
Thank you, ma'am, for showcasing that down-to-earth attitude. Thanks a lot. Now, our Bala, who will be the moderator for this session. He has got total 14 years of IT experience. He holds masters in business analytics and project management. He's a PMP certified person and a safe related certifications. Also, he do hold in his kitty, and he's currently working as a project program manager at Carrier. And he's an active member of SSAG. We can say like we did Cognition 2024, a huge success. He played a very key role into it. Go ahead, Bala.
Thanks, Subbu. Thanks for the introduction. And as usual, I'm the youngest member in the panel, interviewing a lot of experienced panel members. That was the case with Cognition and same with Shining. I'm equally excited. And thanks to all panelists for joining in the panel discussion. So before we get started with the questions, I have a couple of insights which I collected. So over the last decade, we had a lot of digital transformations happening in multiple companies where business agility played a key role in those digital transformations or operational level transformations, I would say. But at the moment, it's all AI. So going forward in the next decade, it will be like AI-driven digital transformations with the help of business agility. So that is one of the key insights which I would like to highlight before we get into the discussion. And there is one study from PwC that 68% of the companies are already using AI in their agile environments, and they have experienced improved decision-making capabilities and precise project forecast with respect to spend, cost, efficiency, and also since I work more on program management driving this digital transformation, right? So this is part of some of the research work which I did, which I presented in my present organization as well, to see like where exactly the AI trend is going on and how it will impact a lot of companies on decision making capabilities. So these are two insights which I thought of sharing with the audience here. So let's get started into the panel discussion. Okay, so let's go with the first question, and it's mostly on misconceptions. So what common misconceptions about AI and business agility need to be clarified? So there are a lot of misconceptions about AI and business agility, like will AI eat up business agility, or how will it support the business agility, right? So what are the misconceptions there, and which you'd like to clarify with the wider audience here? Maybe I'll go with Ketan first.
Thank you, Bala. First of all, I hope I'm audible.
Yes,
So
you are.
let's give a very simple example of a misconception. While the introduction of all the panelists, you mentioned that we are all very experienced people here, right? So for me, the word experience is equal to the number of mistakes made in so many years that we have achieved. And when an AI companion was been asked to evangelize the profiles of all the panelists, and suppose there are 11 panelists who mentioned that there's so and so experience and so years, and maybe a weird person like me says, I have a track record of making number of mistakes for 17 years. It's going to churn my profile out from it. The reason being is that it has been trained to listen the word experience associated with a number of years. The first misconception is that AI can prevent risk, or AI can basically not do much mistakes. Now, the point here is that anywhere, this is a very simple example. It may happen, right? And it automatically happens. Now, also, one more example is that we are all on Zoom right now. If AI companion feels that I should take the control of muting people, and suddenly I'm talking and somebody else comes in, or maybe I'm not talking, but AI feels that I am about to talk because somebody else is behind me and talking, it will unmute me, and there could be some personal information getting shared across panelists as well. These are some of the aspects where essentially the human decision making or the consciousness have to be brought in. And the first misconception is that AI can prevent risks, which is basically not it can guide you to provide data that where you can basically come up with some aspects of uh, how you can handle the risk. But certainly, these are some basic examples I'm taking from the same arena where we are. It's very, very basic. And there are many such things that people do. The second misconception is, that AI will take all the human jobs. So as I said multiple times earlier as well, I had the same feeling when ChatGPT was launched last year, somewhere in the month of March and April. And I felt, what is it? Why everybody is having so much of chaos about it? And then I asked ChatGPT a question. It says that we lack consciousness. And moreover, it is all about the resistance that any evolution has came up with. Let it be the evolution of wheel, let it be the evolution of electricity, let it be the evolution starting from computers in 1989 when it came first to India. A lot of people said that our jobs will go. Then came the cell phones, smartphones. People felt the communication channel of emails and Yahoo and Rediff mail will go away. It is all about the adaptability. Then comes the storage. We had a floppy disk, then we had CDs and DVDs, and then pen drives, and now cloud. Everything is, we go with the evolution, the flow, but at the same time, how to use the data, when to use it, the conscious approach of using it is something that humans have. We are more super intelligent because we are the ones who have the sense of consciousness to see how we can use AI as a buddy. It's moreover, if we allow AI to control our minds, then if we are reactive, definitely it will take our job. But a person using AI or understanding AI will surely have the edge over it. Two more misconceptions to share here is that AI guarantees instant agility. It's one of the biggest misconceptions happening, in the organizations. The point is, I'll take an example, that suppose a company installs an AI system to improve agility. The next day, suppose a team is locked out of their email access because the AI decided that this team is actually spending so much of time writing email communications that they're not productive. A lot of tools are there to track that are my team members working for 8 hours or 9 hours in a day. It tracks. Suppose the AI tracks that the productivity is reducing because of so an email communication. One fine day, it stops the email access. Now, that is exactly where the productivity dips down. The communication goes down, and that's exactly where human consciousness interactions are required. So definitely AI doesn't guarantee instant agility anywhere. Another one is that AI can basically solve all your problems. That's one of the most biggest one of the misconceptions many people possess. It's more about that. Suppose any restaurant basically installs an AI to improve the food services. Now, the AI system has observed over the past 6 months that this customers coming in, they have a proper way of ordering food. This is their ways of ordering. This is the kind of cuisine that they like. And before even ordering, they take that information and put the order. And suppose there's a conveyor belt to take away that particular food item, people might have to run towards the conveyor belt straight away to take the takeaway rather than understanding that what is being prepared, what is it they have ordered, right? If there is no human intervention there to see is the order been correct or not, you will not be able to sustain with the AI. So AI is not there to solve all of your problems. It is just assistance to us. It is just like a friend who may be jealous of you because you are good than him, but even AI can't be jealous. You can stop the jealousy just by, prompting in a different way. One last misconception I wanted to share is that, it's very, very important is that AI will diminish the need of agile teams in future. This was one of the things last year that a scrum master as AI can come in and can basically have the meeting notes coming in and understand how the stand-up could be run everywhere. Even the sprint planning can be done in that way. But despite that, if a team member is struggling with an impediment. And suddenly a self-organizing team member of a high-performing team says, don't worry, I'm there. We'll work together. This consciousness or this statement can only come by agile team members. AI can't come and say that I'm going to help you or let's collaborate. Have you been through this earlier? What was the feeling you had? Were you tensed? And how did you got that tensions take away through the experience? I think these are all specific human empathetic things which AI can't do it. So there is no thought process should be there that AI will diminish the agile teams anywhere. Some basic misconceptions, which is very, very commonly on day-to-day basis, considering a daily AI aspect, which I wanted to share. And these are some of the misconceptions I feel about it.
Thanks for the insights, Ketan. So to conclude, we can say AI can be a good companion. Let's make best use of it.
Absolutely. So I would say that AI and humans are bhai, but humans are the bada bhai. Yeah.
Okay, so would you like to add anything, Meghana?
Yeah, just a little bit on the fundamentals. So when we talk about business agility, we are talking about agility in the business, as in speed to match up maybe disruptions, to match up what our intended users need from time to time. And when AI is coming together with business agility, I think there's a lot of fear right now in what's going to happen next. And that's more a fear of unknown, and from where a lot of misconceptions are coming in. And Chetan really did a very excellent part on outlining those misconceptions. Yes, AI taking over jobs, AI taking over the world, not only jobs. So personally, I feel this is still a very, very, very distant possibility. Don't see that happening anytime, any soon, because AI can be your best partner, but at the end of the day, as the human in the loop, you continue to be the most important element, because the experience, the decision making, the empathy, and a whole lot of other things will only be expected and will only come from the human in the loop. So yes, for sure, there are things that will change in the way we work in terms of a product owner role, for that matter, or a Scrum team member role. However, things are here to stay, only that there is a paradigm shift. And I'm sure at some point in time, we'll talk a little bit more in detail about the roles. So I'll reserve the portion for that time. So back to you.
Thanks, Meghana.
Just one example to add in, just an example I just thought about, which came through one of my friends is, so suppose you have an AI toaster. He used to have an AI implemented for his toaster. He used to have toasts. So every day you have an AI toaster at 7 a.m. runs in, you put the bread and automatically toast it out. And one fine day, the algorithm says that you are obese and you have been on a lot of high carbohydrates. So suddenly today, I can't toast the bread for you. It's better you take some protein outside. So human decision making is basically a problem if you are training the algorithm in such a way that is only subjected to one aspect of it. But despite that, if I am obese, which I am actually, and I want to have some sandwiches today, and if AI says no, you can't, it is not going to override my decision. If I feel like that, I will eat it. The same way, there are many such decision-making processes where a lot of misconception is that AI can drive it. No. So any decision-making, humans are the ones who have to control it, or maybe have to govern it, rather. That's a good word. So that's one example to just share across that, yeah, decision-making is as well a misconception which should be taken up.
Okay. So can we assume like human intelligence is always has an upper hand compared to artificial intelligence, because it's human who made this artificial intelligence, right? It's all about how you train your AI model.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Ketan and Meghana. So my next question is, what is an unexpected way AI has enhanced business agility in your experience? And Saurabh has a clear experience on this, right? Saurabh, can you provide your insights on this?
Thank you, Bala. So if you were to take business agility as our ability to come out with new product, new services, and reducing the time to market, if we take that as our basis, I think there were two key main waves or threads that came out in the AI adoption, which were a little bit unexpected at this particular point in time. While those were expected to come down the line, but they have come a little bit early in the stage. So one was custom chat GPT models to come in. So people have started building now custom models. So while this was evident that people will use market information to evaluate themselves, right? Creating user stories and other things, but using your own organization database and building a chat GPT on top of that, that trend started catching up like a wildfire. So giving an example, like we started using chat base, so it creates a custom chatbots for your product. So if you want to create a user manual or something like that, which answers the question at the runtime to the user, so it is really helpful, and to a degree, without hallucinating, it is able to give a very intelligent response if you are able to feed in the right data. So if you have FRDs in the system, if you have user manuals for the product or something, if you feed that data in a proper manner, and then you can get almost a very intelligent responses from that particular chatbot. And the good part is that chatbot keeps on becoming intelligent over a period of time. So suppose I say that these 5 responses were not up to the mark, so it records somewhere in its own database and figure it out that in future, if somebody asks a similar kind of question, I need to answer it accordingly. So you keep on value adding that particular thing to a point where it becomes a completely personalized stuff for you and is able to give a lot of value than probably we were expecting. So that is one unexpected benefit or unexpected trend that we saw that. Another trend that we saw was that we were expecting that ChatGPT will, impact the individual pieces of the module, right? So it will help us in doing market research better because it's a kind of data warehouse put out in the open. You can query it, you can get the information down at your fingertips. And then at coding level, yes, there will be some changes, but there is a integrated impact happening all across the product lifecycle. So I have worked more on software development companies. So giving an example, so if I were to come out with a product or a new additional product line for my business, it's no longer prerogative of the experts or prerogative of having a good team or big team. So you do not need good researchers or something. So you can actually get, there's so many tools which are doing research for you and able to get that information. There are so many persona tools available. Then there are so many wireframing AI based tools available which helps you generate multiple wireframes and prototypes to help you see which one will fit the bill. And then similarly, it gets extended to creating user stories and then test cases and development by itself. While my assessment is that it is only to the extent of 50% in each of these areas, but this 50% is also quite huge. And on top of that, when this 360-degree impact came all across, then came the agent. So now you have an agent who is independent doing one part of the job, coming back and passing on the information to another agent, and then collectively, you're almost getting the final output for the whole work that you thought will be done in pieces. So which I believe is another unexpected development which happened a little bit before time than it was expected. So there's, I think, the two key main ways in which I believe AI took on.
Thanks for the insight, Saurabh. So I see like companies started experimenting with AI, connecting their own database data sets, and then trying to figure it out some value
Absolutely.
addition. Yeah. So we need to train our AI models perfectly so that our data is secure and compliant, I would say.
Lot of value come from that because you are able to give more tailored response to the query, and it really helps bring efficiency and quality in the interaction.
Sure, Saurabh. So Nagini, would you like to add anything more on this?
Yeah, actually, Saurabh has touched based upon the chatbots and the automation part of AI, how it is helping us in our ways of working. One example I would like to quote from my experience is like in the banking industry also the chatbots have been used for kind of the customer service performance related things, and decreases the back office support time, and the operations are done quickly, where you have a decrease in the manual labor. But over the time, what few of the banks have done is they have collected the data which is churned out of this chatbot kind of conversations which is happening with various customers, right? And that the conversations or the data mining which was done through those chatbots help them to come up with their own customization of market segment wise. You have a different market in different country. So the segmentation of market is defined, and this data which was coming from the chatbots and the way the questions were asked are the financial financial details which were asked by the customers, and all these things were put in a different format, and this data mining has helped them to come up with this market segmentation. And market segmentation has helped them to come up with various features or the products which are more relevant to those kind of geographies. For example, when the COVID had hit, most of the companies were working from home, and you had a lot of different kind of ways banks have provided you the financial help. For example, in US alone, few banks have given credits to the customers because they had the data that these people have been in some service or they have been working for some years and they are okay to repay. So when they had this kind of intelligence coming up from the backend data of the chatbots they have been using, that went out as a very big click. And all the people who are out of jobs have been given a kind of support also from the government. And these are all the data analytics and the mining which was done from the various ways the customers were talking to the chatbots. Another example I would also quote here is I just had happened to go through a case study a few months back that one of the organization has enabled their ERP system as well. I think IFS Cloud is the name of the ERP system, which is enabled by the AI. So there is a difference in the normal ERP and the AI-enabled ERP, where integration of AI-enabled, data statistics and other things, and the human intervention is giving them a good result.
Definitely, Nagini. So recently I've attended a panel discussion at Global AI Summit. It was driven by ICEA, and where I heard from an MD of I could say like your competitor bank in US, like their entire back office operation staff are being trained on AI, like how to efficiently use AI to improve their customer efficiency scores, CSAT scores, I would say. And they started implementing couple of LLMs within their back office operation. So they already started experimenting it. So chatbots is one thing where they have highly integrated this LLMs, which is primarily to target the educated set of audience, I would say. Because as a banking customers, even when we want to interact with the chatbots, right? So we curate our questions to the perfection, like what actual information we need. So entire back office teams are being trained on this, like how to feed proper data for such kind of questions.
Just to add to that, Bala, one advantage we found, using the data coming out from the chatbot, conversations is you have your own data. You don't have the problem of getting into the intellectual property issues or the security of the data or the genuineness of the data. It is your customers who are giving you their perspective or asking questions around your product. So you have a very different kind of a fresh data which is not borrowed from somebody, or you don't have any other kind of limitations in using them.
Definitely, Nagini. So in the similar line, I got a research study from Deloitte, so which says that by merging AI into their ways of working. So the customer satisfaction rates have been increased by 25% by implementing personalized experience and streamlining the workflows.
Absolutely.
So it's a clear-cut example from the market. Okay, thanks for the insights, Nagini. Let's go to the next question. So the next question is, how is AI changing business problem solving and decision making in dynamic situations, not the regular situations, right? How intelligent is AI in solving real life business problems in dynamic situations? So maybe Meghana, you can answer this.
Sure. So if you look at, there's no debating that in the present time, data is the new gold or platinum or maybe above and beyond that. So what actually AI gives is immense amount of ability to process this data, which otherwise definitely is above and beyond what humans can actually process. So huge amount of processing, and that gives a big edge in decision making, be it simple things like planning for your sprints to near accurate business forecasts and predictions and so on. So there's a lot you can do with data now than you could possibly do a few years back. And so this is actually what is coming out as a seemingly most important aspect which fuels business decision making. And there are so many examples which we often see. I would like to share something interesting that I got accustomed to, or I saw something very, very interesting, and that is in the customer service space. And when AI was still very much in its budding days, we often heard that customer service is up for a very big change. And there are different organizations which took this in their stride and really brought up a lot of disruption. So today we see a lot of chatbots and other things, but above and beyond that, going above and beyond that, really creating a customized experience for your intended users while you are in that interaction. I think that's the biggest thing I can think of when it comes to really using AI then and there in the business space, when you are actually in a business transaction or when you're actually interacting with an intended user, from keeping tab of the buying preferences to the language that I prefer, interacting with my tools and apps in, and to doing sentiment analysis. That's a new thing I'm hearing. Even before really an escalation becomes an escalation, can we gauge some patterns and then try and have an alert system or do something about it? So the list is endless, where really business agility is getting to a big level and in real time. That's absolutely amazing. I think we would not have had power if AI was not around. And of course, about going above and beyond that, what makes a customer stay, what makes a customer return, I think that's what we need to do. And I was involved in some projects related to gifting and gift cards, online gift cards, where there is plan to make a study on what do customers do after they have a gift card. Either somebody gifted them, they bought it for themselves, whatever. But what happens after that? What do they buy with it? And do they come back to the same thing and so on? So I think this is the power that we can quickly gauge these insights and then feed them forward into our products, into our services, and what have you. So for sure, this is here to stay. At the same time, disclaimer, the humans in the loop are extremely important. So what do you do with this data is an absolute must. And how do you correlate things? I mean, maybe at certain point in time in the year, a lot of gift cards are being used for utilizing spa services, but that doesn't happen every day. I mean, who would go to a spa every single day? No one would. So it's about making a good correlation with that data and the business, and where the business gain it really is. So I think that's really the power, but use it wisely, because with every power comes responsibilities.
So definitely agree with you, Meghna. I think in the previous session, Ashutosh also highlighted. So data is not just the oil now; it's a crude oil what we get. So how we transform that crude oil is the key for efficient use of AI, I would say.
Absolutely.
Yep. Thanks for the insights, Meghna. So Ketan, would you like to add anything more?
Yeah, sure. I think Meghna has covered a bit of there, but I'll try to give some examples of this. So let's take an example of a problem and then a solution using a Gen AI, or maybe any not a Gen AI, with respect to this. So focusing towards a real-time adaptive decision making. So many years ago, Uber was launched. I hope you all might have used Uber, right? And when Uber was launched and you basically put up your source and destination, you get to know what the price is for a mini vehicle, for a sedan vehicle, for a SUV and all those things. Those were quite fixed. Now, if the driver who's driving the vehicle in Uber, if it takes 20 minutes from point A to point B without traffic, it is justifiable to him that the amount coming in the Uber as a price is okay. But suppose if now it takes 45 minutes because of a traffic, the fuel consumption is more, the frustration is more. At the same time, there is a lack of like a kind of an insecurity that I'm spending so much of energy here and though why the price is not changing. It should be basically change, right? So what Uber did is Uber basically implemented a Gen AI in dynamic pricing models. So when you book Uber today, it says 379. Suddenly you go up, it will say 349. It will say 400. And it has dynamic pricing ranges. It will range the price differently for two different people looking for the same Uber as well. Right. This is one of the aspects of how, by analyzing the demand, the traffic conditions, and availability of drivers as well. Whether the driver is 10 minutes late or 4 minutes late or 2 minutes late, it changes completely. So Uber can adjust prices on the fly by maximizing the efficiency to both the customers and the drivers too. That is exactly where that has helped many people to be part of Uber as a drivers and many people as a customers to use Uber when they are outside the airport or maybe wherever they are, right? That's one of the examples to it. The another example is like, improving customer experience with interactions through AI. Now you go to a bank and you're about to take a loan. Now I need a loan and I don't know how much loan I will get because I feel I'm a very responsible person with respect to my financial needs. My wife feels I am not. So if I need to get convinced, and I'm not going to get convinced by my wife, I know that. So when I go to bank is having some kind of a system there for asking me survey questions. I put some random number. What is your monthly expenditure? What are your habits? What is it that you feel is your must to have expenses? What is that you have a nice to have expenses? What is that you are spending, which is leisure? And you put all those details, it gives you the reality for you that you are the kind of a person who should not get the loan, first of all. And if you really want a loan, get the authority from your wife. Maybe I'm just kidding here, but you get multiple loan options. You get the loan options that how you can sustain the loan EMIs considering your current ways of living. And this is completely a very great help as a customer experience for anybody who's going to bank and get the loan. Rather than having a sales representative talking to you, why can't the AI system do that? Get the preliminary round done, and it's a very, very good customer experience with the AI-driven efficiency coming in. That's the second aspect of it. The third that I wanted to share with you is about Coca-Cola. It's a very fantastic case study that I really went through. That when you are having a creative problem solving with branding and marketing. Now, I hope you all know if you have seen this ad in 90s, where used to have Aishwarya Rai and Amir Khan Coca-Cola ads. That was way back in somewhere 30 years back. You have evangelized with Hrithik Roshan and many people. But despite that, there was never a personalized ad campaign that can happen through Coca-Cola. So what they did is they implemented a Gen AI enabled personalized ad, which basically generated images and text tailored to the individual customer segments of that country or that region. So now if you are in Hyderabad, it will generate something with respect to the Hyderabad celebrities. If you are in Maharashtra, you get something of the Ganesh festival happening right now. It basically dynamically will create the ad based on whatever is happening around you. And that gives a very, very good flavor to it. Right. And I recently saw an ad, a normal ad in somewhere in Pune that Coca-Cola published was, with something of the sort of any kind of a festival coming in or any kind of some happenings happening in a Pune. So that is one way of doing it. So these are some of the areas, some of the examples of how the existing some problem are being solved by AI. But again, even publishing an ad, you need to have a review. You need to have human interaction to see. Nobody can, it's difficult to showcase in Ganesh festival to show Lord Ganesha with Coca-Cola. No, there are some ways to do it. You have to restrict it because it's a cultural thing and you need to ensure that it's not happening. Or even there have been many of them. But despite the problem solving and decision making about it to have a creative solution, a human governance is required to derive what is it required and what is it not. So, yeah, that's all from me.
Definitely agree with you, Ketan. And in addition to that, there are a couple of insights from McKinsey. So recently, they have done a survey with companies who incorporated AI into their process. And the feedback from the companies is that with this AI incorporation, they have seen 50% reduction in release cycle times and 25% boost in responsiveness to user feedback. So 25% boost is a huge thing, I would say. Like it's almost a big boost for them with the user feedback, right? So it really helps them to invest more and more in AI. But as you mentioned, the human touch is really required to review. We can't just blindly go with the suggestions given by AI. So in similar lines, my next question is, can you give an example of how AI has made your daily task more efficient with respect to your daily work at your job, right? So can you just give an example like how AI has made your daily task more efficient? Maybe Nagini ma'am, can you answer to this?
Yeah. So daily task, if you say personally, just from getting up from the bed to going to back to bed, also there are a lot of things AI is helping us with. For example, you have Alexa or Siri, whatever you call it. You have your Ola or Uber cabs which take you to the office or get you back. Google Maps is a big example, which I can take it as an example. And even your smart keyboard on your mobile is a AI generated keyboard. Mostly the smartwatches which we are using along with the mobile phones nowadays, they have a lot of features regarding your physical activity, even fall detection to prevent from sudden fall of a person, and sending alarm to a person who is activated on your phone. And a lot of things like face recognition, for example, to open any of your apps, even the bank you know mobile bank apps also, just to open your app with a face recognition. You have a weather prediction, whether if you are traveling to some place, what kind of clothes you want to take to that place, depending on the few days of weather prediction. It may not be right always. As you know, if a prediction says it is going to rain, you can go and do your papadams there. Okay. And the most annoying thing is the entertainment channels, the streaming on Netflix and other things. Once you see one kind of a series, you get bombarded with that kind of things, like you may like to see this and all. And the personalized marketing, whenever you are in your email, there is a lot of things which are coming up, and by chance you have ordered something on Amazon, you will have all kinds of you know uh, suggestions coming for those kind of products without even your notice. I don't know wherever your data is going. And Insta, Facebook, you don't even need to mention about how your friend requests are coming up and suggestions are coming from everywhere in the world, right? The kind of ability to, even now in the corporate, to book your seat if you want to go to office has decreased the physical office spaces. Previously, you used to have a lot of big offices, infrastructures there. Now You can actually have an app which shows how many places are available in the office, and you can book one place and secure it for you. So a few examples like that are like, accounting chatbots are there where they can give you advice on what kind of things you are looking for. I can keep go on and go on with all these examples, because I don't think without AI there is something which we can do. Even the Zoom calls are also coordinated by AI sometimes without even a panelist or a moderator. Customer service is one good example. Sometimes we get irritated with the repeated questions, but the automated customer service is one bad examples of AI where they are using it. If you don't have anything which is there relevant for your query, it will again take you back to that previous menu. And we don't have any other option. So many ways we are using AI without our knowledge nowadays.
Definitely agree with you, Nagini. As we are in this Zoom session, right, I could see this AI companion consistently blinking right next to recording.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks for the insights, Nagini. So, Saurabh, since you, as a consultant or as a startup, you work with multiple companies in their transformation, right? So, have you used any AI tools for any part of your work there?
Okay, so I think Nagini has very beautifully covered the personal side of it. So let me cover the other professional side of it, and let me cover it from the standpoint of what I advise to the product owners, scrum masters on their day-to-day life, what they should do with it. So I'll share each use case which normally they miss. So people use it for user story creation, acceptance test criteria, and all that stuff. So normally what they typically forget, that product owners, is that they can use ChatGPT for very good, so normally in some companies, FRD still exists. So you have functional requirement documents to give the flow of the application. Even Jira Confluence also has that particular facility. So they forget to get it reviewed from, ChatGPT with some intelligent prompt. So give a prompt that, give me a missing use case from the scenario. So ask for a critical review of a particular thing, and you will be pleasantly surprised that some of the validations, some of the use cases, it's invariably able to pop out. So that's a very pleasant surprise to all the business analysts and product owners when they get to see that. Okay, so we missed that. Another thing is in UX UI stage, which really helps people, is to come up with alternative designs. So normally your mind is tuned to one particular set of things. Now, if I want to see certain things, vertical menus, how does it look like? Horizontal menus, how does it look like? Now, if you were to create it through manually or something, it is going to consume time, but with the help of AI, that can be done pretty quickly. So that's another area for UX UI professionals, to make best use of the AI over here. And in coding, one of the things that people normally forget is that they write prompts, to give me more optimized code, or give me more, tell me the bugs in it, do the code review. But I think somewhere they need to give more intelligent prompts over here in their daily task. Review the code from solid design principles. So there's a beautiful concept of solid design principle that is followed in coding. So in which there is one principle, single responsibility, that every class should have a single responsibility. So give a very tailored, specific prompt. Can you review the code from the standpoint of that particular principle, whether it is following or not? So it is able to generate a beautiful output for you. It is able to give that particular thing. Or even if some method is going beyond the number of lines, you can ask it to break it further. So those kind of inputs really help on day-to-day basis, daily routine, which you're talking about. And then coming to testing, I think test team is another tool that can be used, and a lot of help can be there in the automation. Even in the release cycle also, you can have some predictive issue detection mechanism thrown in over there. So that are probably some of the professional use cases on day-to-day basis, which should get embedded into the DNA of all the professionals who are working in these particular areas. So that's my recommendation to all the clients and all the people that I normally share.
Okay. Thanks for the insight, Saurabh. So in the similar context, we have next question to you. So how can AI tools improve a company's adaptability to market changes and internal challenges? So once they start using AI tools, a lot of challenges will be coming, right? So how they can overcome these challenges, especially with respect to market changes or within the organization itself?
Okay, so let's take it in two parts. So we take it first part, market related challenges, market piece. So market is evolving on as we speak. It's on such a rapid transition that is happening in the world. So earlier we used to have salespeople, your product outreach team, your media, a lot of other things that used to be there that used to collect information, process that particular information for you, and then you used to take a decision whether I need to incorporate in the product roadmap or not. So that used to be a good amount of a big cycle which used to be there in place, and there used to be debate on which feature to be prioritized further something. I think that the whole cycle has shrunk. So that is where I think the AI has really helped so if you want to do any comparison with any of the product, it gives in seconds. If you really want to know which feature is going to have much traction with the users, you get the response almost immediately. Although you need to use it with a pinch of salt. So you can't just blindly use it, but it certainly acts as a buddy, as Ketan is mentioning. So use it as a buddy, keep getting the information, from it and validate. So the way to really make good use of it is to keep validating from people who have experience in that particular area, whether the information that we are getting is, appropriate or not, we can use it further. So that's one part is that shrinking of the cycle, which really helps you to adapt faster to the market changes. Now, coming to the second part, which is internal challenges. Now, one of the most internal challenge that all IT companies face, since my experience is more centered around software development companies, I keep struggling and juggling with that skill issue. So there's an attrition happening every right then. There's one good resource leaving the project, and then a lot of hues and cry happen within the organization that we have only that person knows that particular thing. Now I think AI is a great leveler over there. So your average developer, if he is trained with right amounts of prompts and good amount of intelligence thrown around it, that you need to give this kind of inputs to this to get the required output, then I think to a degree you will be able to bridge that gap with the a very high skillful person leaving the company. Although we cannot fulfill that space 100%, but the impact we used to have earlier, that can get reduced by 50% with the help of AI. So that is for certain, and we have seen it happening in the companies wherever I'm going around and figuring it out. So, but the only thing is that average developer or this thing, we need to have a proper training, proper understanding of how to use the tool intelligently for the purpose. That is the only given thing. Else, you are able to bridge that divide which excellent developer and average developer used to have earlier. So these are two things.
Definitely agree with you, Saurabh. So, Ketan, would you like to provide more insights on this about the market changes and organizational challenges?
Market changes and organizational challenges. So first of all, when you go about the adaptability of how AI tools are, let's understand this first thing is, let's come internal to the organization first. What are the enabler functions the organization has? Let's take an example. You have HR, you have workforce management, you have learning and development, you also have administration, you also have facility, you also have travel. There's so many internal departments in any organization, and how today this can be transformed to use AI effectively. That is one of the most important challenge that all the organizations are possessing today, and they are really rapidly working on to see how they can use it. When I talk about the AI tools, there are many tools which are available. It is all about what basically matches to you. You have a tool called as Zapier, who basically zaps two different applications. and gets the data into the second application. So it means that you can extract a lot of data from ChatGPT and can fill that into the Trello board directly, or fill that into Jira, or fill that into Greenhopper or your version 1 or your ADO if you get the API keys there. This is one way of how you basically get the agility coming in picture to improvise the challenge of those manual efforts that these roles are actually doing earlier. Coming back to this internal departments, there is a lot of data and a lot of documentation that every organization has. So rather than having this external AI tools, it is more easier to see how you can build up your own specific protected small wrapper over this OpenAI LLM or anything that can read the documentation that you possess in the organization and can create something for the employee to have an employee experience within generative AI. That is one of the challenge, and having a solution to it by such tools, where for that matter, if you have learning and development, so there might be a lot of data of the pre-learning and development programs for any employees in the organization that could have been done. And if employee really want to go and understand what are such things that my organization has, if he is having some kind of a XYZ Gen AI tool enabled specific for the organization, he can just go and understand from the query and the prompt that what is it that is available for me inside the organization. Same could be for the processes and policies of HR. Administration, what is it that I need to do to get my access cards? What is it that I need to do to ensure that my travel, transport, and cabs are getting booked? What is it that I can do to ensure that my PF and all those aspects, with the basic question that everybody has today is a PF calculation. Every salary slip has those calculations. In last so many years, I've never understood that, to be very frank. It is just that we come to know that this is the amount of tax deduction. I'm good, deducted. The only thing is that don't come back to me with the inquiry. But there could be some questions of how PF is calculated. Why my segment is so huge? What is it that company's contribution is so less and mine is more? There are so and so questions that people can ask actually, and this is how exactly it could be used. One very great example that I've seen about AI tool being developed is basically about employee onboarding and offboarding as well. A lot of organizations have the history of employees who have left the organization as well from last 8-10 years, right? Even if those people have to come back and see, I was 10 years back in this organization and what was the feedback given to me? You go back and you have the data available. You can basically sustain and see how employee could be onboarded well with all this information and can also be after offboarding. So these are some internal segments that organizations can target, and they are working right now. But the best part is that employee experience is one aspect that we take it as a third priority. We always focus on customers. So for customer segments, we will try to create use cases and try to go and sell it. How about your own employees? Because the problem is that we normally call employees as resources, right? We don't call them as knowledge workers. Even resources is like you use it whenever you want it, but they are the key pioneer aspect of it. So I think it is really important that we prioritize the AI use cases or AI tools mapping to the role specific needs. Like Saurabh mentioned about product owners and scrum master, more at the organization level, how it can run for employees as well. I think that's what I would like to add. There are a lot of other free tools, but it depends on what exactly you need and is the data been protected. That's all from me.
Definitely agree with you, Ketan. So recently, Salesforce has also launched AI Prompt Builder, where you just go and
Yeah.
write prompts and it generate code for you. In fact, Salesforce is promoting it aggressively. So they are conducting workshops throughout the India, providing knowledge on how to use this prompt builder. So it's a next step, I would say. So they are just training people how to train the AI prompt builder. So it's a two-way job, I would say. Train the people and then people will train the AI. Okay, moving on to the next question. It's on how do you balance using AI with maintaining human judgments in decision making? So AI will provide you all the insights, but human judgment is required, right? So how do you prioritize or balance that judgment? Maybe Nagini, can you answer to this question?
Yeah, sure. Sorry, my video is off. So as we all know that not one size fits all. And as we all have been discussing for the last few hours that, AI works with the data we are providing it as an input. So there is always a need for introducing new data and, the human interactions, which are we are experiencing those from whatever the output we are getting from that same AI. And the feedback is received from real-time experiences in the agile teams. If that goes back, anything which is recorded or given back to the AI prompts, it will synthesize it for in a better way, right? For example, if there is an sprint planning going on, there are a lot of things which are discussed. The discussions may actually go as it is, but if you are also giving it the feedback of the experience, the personal interaction which happened, all these things, it may actually get itself refined, and there will be a better decision making ability which will come out of it, as well as you also are there to do that kind of refining of what is the data coming out of it. Another example I would say is, as all of us know, for maintaining the flexibility and adaptability offered by all the agile methodologies, we know what is that methodology, how it works. But if I use AI, which gives the extra strength to the organizations or the teams to leverage the power of AI, while we know all these principles and methodologies, it's an easier way for us to tackle few of the repeating problems. There, our decision making may be, the human touch is required for those kind of things. Another thing, what I would like to add is, in my experience, the lack of investment in training the teams to understand the outcomes, or what is to be interpreted from the outcomes given by a chatbot or AI tool, is mostly lacking in few of the organizations, which are forced into kind of transformations using AI, but the lack of training how to interpret the outputs is a big challenge, as I see. And this, if at all done in a proper way, fosters collaboration between the human intuition and the AI insights, right? And this actually helps us to optimize our decision making abilities. And the whatever we get out of this, it helps you to leverage the AI's power, and also the foster data-driven decisions. Another important aspect I just wanted to add here is, consider the ethical and social implications of decisions which are thrown out by the AI tools, and apply the kind of human angle of respecting the rights, interests, and values of all the stakeholders involved in that. Then you get that kind of a human driven decision making into effect. Like, that helps us even to think about the ethical as well as the responsible AI practices into place. Yeah.
Definitely agree with you, Navin. So in the interest of time, we'll go with two more questions. So the next question is on, since AI has become part of our life as agile professionals, right? How do we need to keep up with AI advancement while ensuring like your business or enterprise or organization remains agile? So Megan, how would you like to answer on this?
Sure. So first and foremost, few things that will, as they say, never go out of priority. That is basically to align all the key initiatives, be it implementing AI, with business goals. I mean, you need to understand as an organization and really have this very, very clearly sorted as to what are you chasing, what are the challenges, what are the goals, and then how AI can make things better for you, for your intended users, customers, stakeholders, and the likes. So that's how it needs to plug in. AI should not be something which comes only for the sake of AI, or an organization wants to implement the next big thing. But rather, if there is a business goal that's going to be very positively impacted, then do it. So this is the very, very important thing to consider, and more likely sometimes being forgotten. So really have AI connected to business goals. Keep understanding things. I know there's a lot of knowledge that we have all around us, and it is sometimes difficult to navigate in that knowledge. But what could make things easier is to sometimes look at similar organizations, maybe look around in the same domain and understand what's going on, and things like that, to narrow down your scope, because otherwise you're going to very easily get lost in so much of information overload. So don't do that. Try to stay a little focused on understanding the trends of your specific industry as well as the AI trends. So at least at a basic level, when you're starting off to implement something or want to stay in the game of implementing AI for something, then there has to be a basic level of understanding and literacy at least before making that important decision. And that's not only for one person in an organization, that's not just something for leadership, but overall, the organization needs to have some basic level of understanding of what we are trying to do, why do we need, or what will be the benefit if we use AI. So to that level, the skills have to be really up. And I always have enjoyed some of the courses which talk about the fundamentals. So at least, your entire workforce needs to understand a few things before they embark on this journey. And of course, apart from the general literacy, it's important to have a focused team that day in, day out looks for what we can do to better our outcomes in the field of using data science, machine learning, what have you. How do we get better at this? So people who are experts in that, you need to have a little team, at least, to whatever your budgets and other things allow you. But there have to be people who think about this on a focused manner. And of course, to top it all, very important is to have data. Very important it is to have right selection of data sets, and that requires a lot of practice. And it's a journey of continuous improvement. You don't hit the sweet spot on day one. So because data is going to basically give all kind of outcomes and all kind of studies and insights and everything. So data has to be in order if that's not. And for sure, there are things around implementing agility when you do all of this. Like, what I mean by implementing agility is to look at shorter feedback loops and quickly learn from implementing a few things, call them pilot projects or prototyping, what have you, but be prepared to do something, learn from it, understand, and then move ahead. This has to be slightly faster than what we have been doing traditionally in past. So those are some of the things. How do you really at least stay at par, at an average with what's happening around, and how do you in an organization try and use AI to your advantage?
Definitely, we agree with you, Meghana. So, Saurabh, would you like to add anything more at an enterprise level or multiple industries?
Yeah, I would like to add some simple stuff. I think Meghna beautifully highlighted that part. Just to top it up, I think first people should attend programs and virtual conferences like this. So I believe a lot of valuable information is being shared in these kind of platforms. Starting from today's speaker, I'm sure next speaker and tomorrow also there will be a lot of valuable information getting shared. And this is the advancement that you're getting to know, that so many tools, so many use cases of a particular tool. I believe that's a good amount of information. Another way to keep up with the AI advancement is that you can be part of some LinkedIn forums, which are there specifically for this particular activity. Then I believe there are some good blogs in the medium which can be subscribed to, which gives good information on these particular pieces. And last but not the least, there is a sites which are available for tools. There is a particular site, you just go, all the tool listing is over there. So you need not go and bang your head with multiple stuff. There is a one place you will get all the tools distinct, so you can go and figure it out for which purpose you need that particular tool. Do your own R&D, figure it out. So that's the way you can keep yourself updated with the developments, I believe.
So thanks for the insight, Saurabh. So the last question before we jump into audience further questions. So we talked all about pros of AI, like how you have used AI and how it helped you, right? So one final question, if you have used AI in any of your projects or transformations, did it complicate the process anytime? And what was the situation? So maybe Ketan, would you like to answer this?
Yeah, let's take a simple example. Okay, so one fine day, my son came to me and he asked me that, Daddy, what is the best way to ensure that you are the best student in the school? That's a very good question. So I said, because I was never the one, so it's difficult for me to justify him because my soul will curse me if I give him the answer, despite me not being the same in my childhood. So I thought that, okay, let me put it. But I said that, I think you need to be just be what you are and experience whatever it is. Ensure that you are not compromising on discipline and the overall the way you've been organized to be in the school. Just be like that. And he said, okay, that's it. Well, yeah, that's one sentence. That's all. And just go and experience it because if you don't do the mistakes, how will you learn? He went back and asked the same question to ChatGPT. And ChatGPT gave him an essay. You need to ensure you're dressed up well before you go to school. You need to do so and so thing. You need to ensure that to be a best student, you need to be good in class. You need to be good in all the subjects, everything, all in all, and all everything. And he came back to me and said that ChatGPT knows more than you. And I said, it is overcomplicating, right? It's a complicating thing for me now to make him understand. And I told him that, whatever ChatGPT is telling you is something that you should already know. It is not telling you something that you don't know. But I am telling you something which is a broader level for you to experience and know yourself. That's a difference. So AI do overcomplicate a lot of things. The first thing is over-reliance on AI. We specifically, I would tell you, I do study a lot of cultural context a lot. We especially especially people in India are high context. Why we are high context is we don't open up to talk unless we don't see it comfortable enough that this is a place to talk. If there are five strangers meeting, we would keep ourselves mum. We will be quiet, right? Unless there is something like cricket coming in. Oh yeah, I know cricket. Let's talk to him about cricket. Oh, I know something about shopping. Let's talk about shopping. And that is exactly when you start collaborating with people. We have been very reactive in terms of using AI. I will lose my job if I don't know AI, so let me go and get trained. That's the objective. The objective is not about to be proactive. It is reactive. And even the prompting that the people are doing today are reactive prompts. Get me the code, give me the code, provide me the email snapshot, provide me this and that. We are not informatory or exploratory in prompting, because of which the over reliance of AI has been quite a bit coming in picture. So how you basically solve it? You need to have a hybrid recommendation coming in. You take the recommendation basically from AI, but you basically understand from your perspective as well how you do it. That's for the first, I would say, the overall overcomplicating thing. The second is bias in hiring algorithms. So when you hire somebody, and if the last 15 candidates were males, automatically the preference would be given to male candidates. And there is no such unbiasedness about the information, about the knowledge, and about the role. This is something which is which should not be the case. Or maybe the other case is that the last 10 people who are being hired, they had pets as cats. So is it something that the next time that somebody is getting hired, do you have pets? Do you have cats? That kind of thing AI can do. And that is exactly where this biasness have to be taken out, with a lot of data being trained in a way which is somewhere ethical, as what was been mentioned earlier. It's very important. And one more that I wanted to share with you all is, especially in the healthcare industry, there are data violations as well. Where you basically go and provide your, PCP data and primary, your basically all the PII and PHI data there, which is basically quite not good. There has to be a way of how this can be governed and can be secured enough. Last but not the least is more about the cultural thing. AI misinterprets culture a lot. So even the local context, if you don't know the culture, it can represent it in a very, very different way, in a weirdest way as well. So cultural shift is something which is agile mindset and more of a people human thing. It is not an AI thing. So it's very important that a lot of people talk about the interactions to be more persona driven. Let it be more emotional intelligence coming in AI. But the moment I talk to, if I ask ChatGPT, you are quite rude nowadays. Why are you not talking to me very politely? And then it will start giving me the responses in a polite way, but you have to trigger it. It cannot sense automatically what your mood is, how you've been collaborating with it. So cultural shift and cultural changes, specifically when you're marketing, when you're trying to publish something, even a lot of people are using email communications to generate email using ChatGPT or any AI tool. Nowadays, when somebody responds to me back, what a great English he has written, automatically this is coming from ChatGPT. Right? So a lot of people have been, they've been quite smarter. They do a prompting. Give me a nice email in a simple English. Okay, so automatically that simple English comes in the way they want to have it. Okay, because automatically when you read emails from people and suddenly you see, oh, it's a great email coming in without any problems and mistakes, and so 2 paragraphs of them, it feels that, but is it been reviewed? So there have been over reliance of things where sometimes in an email communication, when you write few things which you don't know, but you still want it to be given, it is again a problem because then you will have so many questions coming on top of it. There's also the PowerPoint presentations. You generate a presentation from DAL and you publish it. But whenever you're generating a presentation from DAL, DAL has an inside footer inside a presentation. If you don't take it out, it means that you haven't created it. It's a DAL who created it. But the responsibility lies on the employee because he's the one who is governing it. So these are some basic factors which I feel is one of the, is overcomplicating things a lot, where there has to be a decision map, which is one thing that I learned to create. We create user journey maps, customer journey maps, empathy maps. I think with AI and human, we need decision map. These are the decisions that human have to take, and this is where AI stops. When we all start practicing this, you know, there is no point with the first question coming in picture that we had for the panel discussion that is AI more intelligent? The moment you have a decision map in place, you will be very clear what is important and what is most important. I take a pause there. That's all for me.
Definitely. We would completely agree with you, Ketan. So in
I
the
think
interest
Nagini
of
said
time,
something.
yep. So Nagini, you have anything to add? I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
you're
Just to
on
add
time.
to what
Hmm.
Ketan has concluded, we also have to keep in mind about the local regulations and compliance part also,
Yeah.
which is very important because ensuring that you are compliant with the work environment and the local government and the policies of the industry are all important. ChatGPT is for everybody. Whatever you give it as what Ketan has given us, it gives a generic idea of what is that you are asking about, but it doesn't even interpret which country you are from, what is the local regulation, or what is the compliance you have to stick to, and all these things. That's another dangerous thing.
Yeah, one solution to this, Nagini, is one thing that we implemented is about ethics sprint.
Correct.
So if you have AI enablement done, there should be a
Yes.
following sprint that should basically ensure that whatever is coming from AI is ethically compliant. And is
That's
it
correct.
something really required? If you have an ethics sprint coming in place, ethical AI implementation is easy.
Yeah, ethical and responsible AI. We call it as ethical and responsible sprint.
Yes.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
the insights, Nagini. So to conclude, I would say like there is a recent study from Gartner. So they predict like in next 5 years, almost 50% of the enterprise projects will be with the help of AI. So AI will be playing a crucial role in driving 50% of the enterprise level projects. And in the next 10 years, everything and everyone will be interconnected. So it will be through AI. So you will be having your AI companion. And the most mastered skill like everyone has to have is asking the right questions. So if you have a right set of data and if you ask right questions to AI is ready to help you. Thanks everyone for joining me in the panel discussion, and over to you, Subbu.
Yeah. Thank you, Bala. Thank you all the panel members who have given your time and insights for all those participants over here. There is a small token of gratitude from our side. Just a second. I hope my screen is visible. This is for all the panelists over there. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having us here.
Yeah,
And
thank you for having us here.
Thank you very much.
Thank
thank you
you.
very much.
So are we allowing questions from the audience also?
Bala, you're
Bala,
on
you're
mute.
on mute.
Yep. So we
Yeah.
have 5 more minutes. So if we have any questions from audience, they can type in the chat, and panel would be happy to answer.
Yeah, or raise your hands, anyone, so that we can unmute you for the questions.
So there is an episode 2 of the panel tomorrow.
Maybe we can take questions there.
They can come prepared for that.
Yeah, someone has raised their hand.
Saying Shivananda
Shibandana.
is go ahead, Shivananda.
Yeah, I hope all able to hear my voice.
Yes.
Yeah, lastly, I heard like ethical sprint through AI. This is really interesting. So I just want to understand more how to execute this one. Maybe if not in this sessions, maybe I'll connect with later offline with Ketan or anybody.
No, sure. I can add a couple of points here. Not a problem. So, why the need here is that, many organizations, nobody wants to make it official that we use ChatGPT. Let's be very frank on that. You know why? Because everybody has this ethical guidance and policy and approval and threat. Not many things are there. But down the line, every developer or every team member is having a ChatGPT window open somewhere. All right. So despite things coming out of it, and even if any AI tool, let it be a developer buddy or testers buddy or product owners buddy or scrum masters buddy, such kind of customized AI tools can also be generated using existing LLMs. If those things are being used to improvise something as productivity. So let's take an example that a sprint, which has a velocity of 30 story points for a team, all the team members are using AI or generative AI, and the productivity goes to 60 story points straight away. That every team member can do double of it, and they're getting the data or getting the result very frequently. How one will ensure that whatever they are generating from generative AI is mapped and required and justified to the customer? Who is going to validate that from the ethical and compliance perspective? From the security perspective, that this is something that we govern and we take the responsibility, that this is something that we are giving a quality product to you using generative AI. So that body has to ensure that there is an ethics sprint with the team going, that this has been generated by generative AI and this has been created, so that it becomes a solution intent. It becomes a repository of how and when right information or data can be extracted. So when you have ethics sprint, is basically a horizontal sprint for multiple teams, which can be implemented, where it has been more about the team members to go and check how the things have been extracted and is it really required and mapping to what the customer needs. That is exactly what the ethics sprint is. It can also be customized with ethics and regulatory compliance sprint if you are from a banking and financial domain.
Right.
It can be ethics and healthcare compliance if you're from a healthcare domain. It can be customized the way you want. These are the creative ways to bring ethical aspects to it. So, one of a very good friend, who actually presented a paper in US, I learned a lot from her. And that is exactly where this thought came in picture, that even in our teams, we can really cultivate such things that can generate good value.
Oh, thanks, Ketan. I got your details.
There are a couple of hands raised. Shivananda, you can unmute and go ahead.
I think just
No,
Shivananda
I
asked
just
for
completed. I
feedback.
just completed. Subbu.
Muhammad Sharif, we can unmute him.
Yes, we have time for one more question. Mohammed
Yeah,
Sharif.
I have unmuted him. You can go ahead, Sharif.
Sharif, can you hear us?
Sharif,
We can't hear you.
So if you have any more questions, you can park for tomorrow. You have around 22 hours to reflect all the panel discussion we
One
had.
more
and
hand is seen, Padma,
Yeah.
Turaga, or somebody. Quick question. No. Okay, it is Sharif only.
I think Sharif has some connectivity issues. Let's move forward, Subbu. Thank you. Thanks all the panelists for the great discussion. I think we can.
Thank you.
Thank you all the panelists.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Ketan,
you.
Thank you.
Meghna,
Thanks for the
Saurabh,
opportunity.
Nagini.
Thank you.
Great discussion.